Hey everybody, the accountant's back with another best ball tournament on Underdog. We're doing a $50 tournament this time. I believe it's called the Chow Choww. So it's 2 out of 12 advance, then 2 out of 8, 2 out of 8, and a 58 seat final. It's a $50 entry fee, $50,000 to first place, and we have the second pick. Most likely going to be going Bijan or Jamar Chase. I might mix it up and go Chase here, but I also obviously do like Bijan as well. I'm going to go Chase. I'm a Bengals fan. Jamar Chase can just drop 50 points in any week. And I may actually look to pair him up with Malik Nabers if he falls to me in the third round based off of the news we got today. So Malik Nabers was running routes. He looked, in my opinion, very good for the first day of training camp. So it's something that I want to increase my bags with because I wasn't getting as much as I should have. I should have went with my gut. I mean, he's a young guy. So honestly, I should have seen that one coming from a mile away, but I watched a video with a doctor on YouTube and I let it cloud my judgment with the BDGE or whatever that YouTuber is. I officially muted that doctor though, so I no longer see any of his tweets. And from now on, I'm just going to be going with what I think, which is what I should have done in the first place. I'm wrapping up, I'm looking at my phone here because I'm wrapping up a few Dalmatians. So I'm not like too concerned about them, but I just want to wrap them up. And I wanted to jump on here because of this beautiful backdrop we have right now of the sunset. Plus, I wanted to get in one of these $50 Chow Chows. So those tournaments, the little Dalmatians, are pretty much over. I just got to cue my last pick here. So, like I said, I might be trying to get Malik Nabers at 3.2 here, 26. Pair him up with Chase, especially if I can get George Pickens because they play each other in week 17. So I could get a week 17 correlation here. But if Brock Bowers falls, I'm going to be taking him. I just could see if Malik Nabers keeps getting good news, he could start creeping up well into the second round. Especially considering like that's one of the best, in my opinion, week 17 games is the Cowboys versus the Giants. Okay, so cool. I'm going to be getting Nabers here. And even if he does start off slow, my receivers are good enough to pick up his slack in the first few weeks until he ramps up to full speed. But honestly, like I said, the video I saw, I thought he looked pretty good. Especially considering a lot of people were saying he wasn't going to be ready until like week 4. I just don't see that being the case at all. I think he's going to be ready week 1. And like I said, he's only 23 years old. Like if he was Mike Evans and he was like in his 30s, then I would definitely be a little bit more hesitant to draft him or like pull him up at all. But it's like I'm taking him near guys like Rashee Rice could get arrested any day. Devontae Smith has never been a true alpha. Chris Olave has concussion concerns. So like everyone has a little bit of some concerns if you want to nitpick. So we could do the same thing with Nabers. T. Higgins is the number 2. Zay Flowers isn't really a touchdown guy. So I did my first big dog today, and I happened to get the number 1 pick. which is awesome. But I mean, I didn't love my team. I think it's a good team, but I wasn't like in love with it. My running backs are good. I got like Jameer Gibbs, Brees Hall, Jalen Warren as my top three running backs, which I'm fine with. My quarterbacks are good. And I also got Colston Loveland. So if he has a good year, the team should be fine. But my wide receivers in that league is my biggest concern. Let's see if I can pull that up while we wait for my next pick. Drafts completed. As you can see, I've done a lot of drafts already. So yeah, here's the team. Caleb Williams, Baker Mayfield, Cam Ward. So my quarterbacks are great. Jameer Gibbs, Brees Hall, Jalen Warren, Tajee Spears, Jonah Coleman. And then this is what I am not like in love with. Rashee Rice, Terry McLaurin, Xavier Worthy, a Casey Bet, Jacoby Myers, Jaden Higgins, Isak Tesla, Ted Hurst, Jalen Noel, Colston Loveland, Eli Stowers, which this too, they have the same bye week, but I wanted to get another receiver here because I didn't love the wide receiver room and just bet like Colston Loveland kind of carries me. And 1 week of not having a tight end doesn't really concern me. If that's what knocks me out, I was meant to be knocked out. So that's just where I'm at with that. So we'll definitely be looking to take a running back here with my next pick. Considering I did not draft one. So some of these guys should still be here. Although if Luther Burden, okay, that makes my decision a lot easier. I'm going to go with David Montgomery. I really enjoy pairing him with when I go 3 early wide receivers. So could go Colston Loveland with this team as well. Could also go DeAndre Swift. I think I'm just going to keep with the Colston Loveland bet. Like I've seen him earlier in the year go in the 4th round. Like I feel like he's kind of slipping down draft boards, which I don't understand why. I feel like Chicago's offense could be one of the best offenses in the league. The targets could also be very concentrated between him, Luther Burden, and Rome and Dunze. The other guy I was deciding there was DeAndre Swift. Same offense. We'll see which running backs fall back to me. But like if Jalen Warren falls back to me, like last year, even with like he had 197 total fantasy points last year. The team could be better this year with a better coaching staff. And Gainwell is now in Tampa Bay. They do bring in Rico Dowdle, but Jalen Warren should catch more passes this year. So like Jalen Warren already pretty much produced right around what DeAndre Swift did. So if I can just get him, like I'd rather have Jalen Warren and Colston Loveland than DeAndre Swift and Tucker Kraft. Even though Tucker Kraft could have a great year as well, but he's coming off an injury. It's just a good way to look at it when you're trying to decide if you made the right decision or not, is to kind of compare like, oh, if I would have went Swift here, what tight end would I have gotten? Do I like that better? Do I not? See if any teams have gone unique at all. We got kind of a 0 RB build here. Risky. So Jalen Warren should definitely make it back to me. Caleb Williams will be here too if I want to take him. I could take QJ. Not a huge fan of Marvin Harrison. I just feel like, I mean, he hasn't shown it yet, for one. For two, like, there's kind of a lot of mouths to feed in that offense now. With them bringing in Jeremiah Love, you got Michael Wilson who's emerging, Trey McBride. So that's unfortunate. Caleb Williams goes. I'm going to make sure I get Jalen Warren here. I'm going to go ahead and take Dak. I wanted the game stack with Dallas and New York Giants, so I want to pair Dak up with that. I reached a little bit, but that's kind of what you have to do when you're on the turn, because there's just no way Dak's going to be making it back to me. So my team so far is Chase, Pickens, Nabers, David Montgomery, Colston Loveland, Jalen Warren, and Dak Prescott. This is kind of what I wish I would have done in the big dog. I went Jahmyr Gibbs, Rashee Rice, Brees Hall. But I kind of like this stacking of Jahmyr Gibbs, Jeremiah Love, and Brees Hall, and then just ripping wide receiver. But it just all depends. You know, I ended up getting Colston Loveland rather than a receiver. He could have a phenomenal year. So you just never really know. Rashee Rice could have a phenomenal year with a Patrick Mahomes redemption season, which I could definitely see happening. He's going to be super motivated this year. He's proven he's the best quarterback in the league, consistently making it to the Super Bowl, winning championships. So I could definitely see Kansas City and Rashee Rice having a good year. So yeah, with the Malik Nabers stuff, I'm just a little disappointed I didn't get more of him in the fourth round, because he was going like by Josh Jacobs, Terry McLaurin. Although how I was looking at it was like, would I take Jalen Waddle over a maybe injured Malik Nabers if he misses 4 weeks? And every time for me, it was like, I'd rather have Jalen Waddle. But honestly, like once Jalen Waddle's gone, I just feel kind of the same way about Luther Burden though. So it's tough for me. But now that he's I just wish I would have been sprinkling him in a lot more with these guys. I mean, I did take him quite a bit before the news came out in the Badge Bro tournament, just because your wide receiver room was so stacked that he was kind of like a no-brainer click. This guy's gone 5 running backs, 1 wide receiver, and 1 tight end. Do not like that team. His only wide receiver is Christian Watson. But who knows? Maybe it will work. So there's a lot of wide receivers here that I like. I'm going to start with Jordan Addison. 7 picks after ADP. Love that. Xavier Worthy was the other guy I was looking at there. He goes. Could take J.K. Dobbins here. Yeah, I am. So I don't have like too much of him. He's on a good team with a good offensive line. And this kind of like increases my exposure because this is more of like it's not like a high stakes, but it's higher stakes than a lot of the tournaments that I've done so far this year, like the puppy. So I like getting him on this type of team where I went wide receiver heavy. And I think it was pretty important that I went running back there, considering how some of these teams are so heavy at running back. This guy took 4 already. This guy took 5. And this guy is going to be looking to take quite a few here. Same with him, only have 2. So I think it was important for me to get my third. Blake Corum seemed to have gone pretty early here. Same with Jonathan Brooks. I guess that's right at his ADP. Jonathan Brooks and Chuba Hubbard basically going right after each other, which honestly is probably what should be happening considering they most likely are going to be doing like a 50-50 split. Yeah, I think like what I was saying before about Malik Nabers, like I let people online influence what I was actually thinking, which is he's going to be fine because of how young he is. Not to mention, like week 15 to 17 is the most important week, so we don't even need him really at the beginning of the season. So I should have more went with my gut, which I think it's just important to note. Like, just because I'm saying certain things doesn't mean you guys should just like take it wholeheartedly and put your opinions in the back. Like, you need to be doing what you think is best. Maybe we will have similar opinions, and then that's just like reconfirming your opinion. So I think those are the best like hunches to go with is when you're agreeing with people online. If you disagree with someone online, that doesn't mean your opinion or your outlook is just wrong or that you shouldn't maybe do more research. So I could get my second QB here with Baker. I feel like Baker is consistently disrespected. He was injured last year. I'm back up on the clock. Could get a running back. Yeah, I think I'm going to lean into this Minnesota bet here. Get Aaron Jones. He should be catching passes. And I just want to make sure I get some running backs because when I get back here, there most likely not going to be any running backs left. So now that I have Baker, I'm going to be looking to get some stacks with him. Shakir as his third wide receiver. Not my favorite. This is making me feel better about my team, though, and in the big dog, considering my fourth receiver was Jacoby Myers. It's his second receiver, so makes me feel a little better. And like, sure, he's got really strong running backs, but like on my team, I had Jahmyr Gibbs, which is arguably better than either one of these two, even put together. He could just be flat out better on a week by week basis than both of these guys together. One of them could get injured. McCaffrey, there was a video of him on Twitter that I saw of him running a route, and he just kind of looked slow to me. I mean, I realize it's the first day of training camp, but like we already have concerns with his age and his health. He wasn't the most efficient guy last year. I mean, San Francisco's clearly looking to replace him, considering they've drafted running backs in back to back seasons. So, like, I don't know. I just don't love these first 2 picks. I wouldn't take 2 running backs with my first 2 picks that are both 30. But it depends on how you look at it. and what you want. Because the bull case and what you could say is like, oh, Christian McCaffrey starts off hot, helps you advance, and then you don't need him in the playoffs because Derrick Henry kind of does the same thing he did last year and just dominates in the fantasy playoffs against the Cincinnati Bengals in week 17. So, like, just depends on how you look at it. So, I hope Jalen McMillan makes it back to me here. Could also look to go with. Okay, so I have a lot of options here, but I think I'm going to lean in to Jalen McMillan getting a Tampa Bay piece with Baker. And then I'm going to go Stribling. I was picking him up. I just don't think he's going to make it back to me, so I want to grab him now. And I was picking him up in like the 180s consistently, but now that Ricky Pearsall's injured and Twitter is just kind of going crazy with DeJon Stribling, he just keeps getting higher and higher. And I think he's going to could be the top guy in San Francisco. I mean, Mike Evans could easily get injured. And it could just be them two dominating targets. George Kittle's injured. Christian McCaffrey's old. So I really like the Stribling pick. I also like Denzel Boston, but he's on a worse offense. But I told myself, like, once I start seeing, like, in my opinion, like KC Concepcion, like Stribling should go above him, in my opinion. I don't know why he continues to go so high. Like, do we think the Cleveland Browns are going to be that good? Do we think he is that good? Do we know he's that good? Stribling's getting way more hype than he is on social media. And the reason I was so high on Stribling is because I liked his highlights. So, like I said about reconfirming, like Twitter has just reconfirmed my opinion that I like him as a player and he's fast and he's good. So, for me, it's like I knew it. You know what I mean? Nothing's happened yet. I could be dead wrong, but I liked his film, and now everyone is kind of going crazy on him. So I'm just going to keep taking him, and I would take him if I need receivers. I would take him anywhere after round 11. And in the big dog tournament, he went right around this. I think he went at like 148 or something. So like this isn't a crazy reach at all if it happened in a $500 tournament. And he didn't even go to the Brock Bowers. The Brock Purdy. Like it wasn't even a stack. And honestly, this guy probably really wanted him, if I had to guess, because he did have Brock Purdy. So, I mean, yeah, this guy for sure would have taken him. He ends up getting Denzel Boston instead, which, like I said, I like him too, but he was definitely hoping to get Stribling. Not today, buddy. Not today. So I do need some more running backs, probably. I'm kind of set with these quarterbacks, I feel like, unless one falls. Like I could get Geno Smith for the Minnesota stack in week 17 and for him just to help me advance. But like I don't mind these quarterbacks, just them two. All right, I'm going to go Tank Bigsby here. There's been some stuff I saw online too about him getting more work, which wouldn't be crazy. Saquon's getting older. They might want to keep him fresh. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take A.J. Barner here. Get my second tight end with Colston Loveland. So I'm really liking my team so far. I have a 2-5-6-2. My wide receivers are great. Honestly, I could probably stop at 7 and take a third quarterback if I wanted to. Because 2 teams advance as well out of each pod. Like it's 2-12, 2-8, 2-8. So I don't know if that could convince me to take a third quarterback maybe. But I don't think it really matters that much, honestly. Definitely going to take one more running back with this team. Going to stop at 2 tight ends though, unless a value falls. Maybe if Otten makes it back to get a stack, another stack with Baker. But I don't know. This isn't like a massive tournament, so I don't think I really want too many of that stack in the versus the LA Rams in week 17. I'm going to pull up the board for the big dog I did today. So yeah, I was in the number 1 slot. Let's see where Stribling actually went. So yeah, Stribling went at 148. So I could have taken him here, but I got the Cam Ward Spears stack, which I don't mind, as my 4th running back. And I see this as a tier break as well. So like I did miss out on Stribling, but I don't hate it. Chess Liam was in this draft with me. He went with a 2-5-9-2 build. All right, let's check back on the draft. I'm 2 picks away. So Cade Otton is still here, but also Jaden Blue is here. I could pair with Dak Prescott, which I do not mind at all. I think I'd rather have that stack than the Baker Mayfield Cade Otton stack. So I'll take Blue. I might go Brissett here. Yeah, I'm gonna go Jacoby Brissett. Because I'm only gonna go 2 tight ends. So I kind of want to get a third quarterback just in case Baker gets banged up again or something. And he should just help me advance out of my pod a little bit better. He's got a lot of weapons too. Like he could be sneaky good in fantasy this year. A lot of garbage points. Could definitely be possible. They should have to throw a lot trailing. I think they're underdogs in every single game this year. So I definitely don't mind that pick. And like this guy most likely wanted a third quarterback. I mean, he did want a third quarterback, but most likely wanted Brissett here because he immediately goes Tua. And it's not like I went like elite quarterback. I have Dak and Baker. Not exactly elite, like even the Josh Allen drafter took 3 quarterbacks. And then I'll round this team out with a wide receiver, which I feel very good about my wide receiver room. Could look to take a Baltimore piece with my Chase because they play each other in week 17. So yeah, I'll pull up the board actually of the big dog after I finish this one, because I'd like to just go through it and see, what the high draft stakes guys are doing. Brandon Ayuk goes in this one. I do not see him playing football this year. Tank Dell is someone like I haven't really been taking him. His knee injury, like I did say the same thing about Malik Nabers, like I should have went with my gut, but my gut for me and Tank Dell is saying don't draft him. His was really bad, his injury, and he's just a guy where he needs his burst. He's like a Xavier Worthy. Like if these guys aren't super fast, it's not going to work. Their game is just not going to work because that has been their game for their entire life. Is their speed, their agility. And in my opinion, if he does play, he's going to be a serious risk for injury. There's no way he's going to get to a point where he's playing like too many snaps a game. I feel like if he does come back, he's going to be a guy that just is like sprinkles in here and there, but they'll be super careful with. So I don't really want him on my team. I'd rather have a Branch or a Ted Hurst. All right, I'm on the clock. Like I said, I'm going to be taking a Baltimore piece most likely. So yeah, I like my team. There it is, right underneath my picture there. Now let's go check out that big dog draft board again. So yeah, this guy over here went 2 anchor wide receivers and then just hammered out running backs, quarterbacks. Let's see what the Stribling drafter did. Puka, Bowers, Love, Burden, Adams, Jaden, Ramondre Stevenson, Jordan Addison, Stafford, JCM, Chris Rodriguez, Keaton Mitchell, Stribling, Mendoza, Dolchich, Antonio Williams, Lloyd, and Parkinson. I like that team, besides the fact that he only has 6 wide receivers. Don't love that. Michael Penix goes in this draft. So yeah, definitely don't hate my team, but also don't love it. I'm in the first slot, if you remembered. I mean, I do like my quarterbacks. I got Baker in that one as well. I just really need Colston Loveland to have a phenomenal year, which I think he will. We'll see. Thanks for joining me. Until next time, the Taxman's out. I will see you all later.